Hey, welcome back to Divinity Jam. On here for my Virgos, this is going to be your weekly for the 17th through the 23rd. Going to switch it up, use the Black Moon today. We're going to do the 15 card spread here, now, and later. Been pretty useful. I like to do this read on myself, but it is going to give you the here, which is the current energy in the first row, the now, what is evolving and what energy is being directed, and then later is the conclusion based upon the current conditions or the future influences. So it's 5 cards each row for a total of 15 cards, and then I pull some clarifiers from the Crystal Vision Tarot deck. So let's get into your here, now, and later for my Virgos. I already pulled them and just haven't flipped them over yet. So first position, first row, we'll go ahead with the whole first row. Okay, so the first row, current circumstances, the first position is where you stand or what your current situation is now. And you have 4th house roots. It's about where you get it all from, where it comes from, the root of it, the root cause. If you look, there's a family tree on there. So where you stand or where your situation is now definitely involves something from your past, something from your roots. So family, past, childhood, life, stuff like that from your past. It definitely involves you going back to those areas, your roots, and addressing them. And that is the current situation right now. Second position is other people or surrounding circumstances. You have the first body. So very funny that other people comes out first body, which is about you again, surrounding circumstances is about you and the way you view yourself when it is the first body. This is an Aries type of energy. It is definitely who you are as a person. So right off the bat, we're linking your 4th house, which is your roots, to your 1st house, which is you. Still about you and your past and dealing with yourself and your past, being able to go back and analyze your own past and deal with it. Third position, what are you not yet able to see, but what is still influencing this situation? Mercury retrograde intervention, and you know that is your planet. And we came out of Mercury retrograde August 18th, but it's still building up energy to get it back to full strength Mercury, where we are filling in our number one communication, as Mercury is about information. What we know, Mercury is about intelligence. So that being in your third position, what you're not able to see, but what is still influencing the situation. Mercury retrogrades come around to get us to reinvent ourselves, to go back to a certain thing. While it's in retrograde, it may make us bring up certain things from our childhood, certain things from past relationships, so that we can revisit those things, deal with them. And by the time Mercury comes out of retrograde, we are having a new outlook. Basically, we've reinvented our thinking or our feelings on people or matters that come back around in the Mercury retrograde. So that is what's still influencing the situation. Mercury retrograde came around this last time to get you to change something about yourself, do something different, see something different, have a different understanding. So that's still influencing this situation when it comes to yourself and your roots. It was getting you to go back during this last retrograde, possibly to those areas and deal with things so that you can heal certain things from the past. Next position, 4th position and path you are considering or where the situation is currently heading. A get water element, which is sensing, feeling. So that is definitely how I see this playing out. That Mercury retrograde reinvention was to send you back into some feelings, some watery type of. That water element is sensing, it is feeling, it is emotional when you are in that. So I see this all kind of rolling together with your 4th house and your roots and how you felt about them, you taking on your own personality and tracing them back through your roots to see why you are the way you are. Mercury retrograde makes you go back and address those things. The water element and sensing was the area where you addressed it and your emotions. And now this 5th position, current strategies, current energies and surrounding circumstances, is 8th house, beginnings and endings and beginnings, which is the 8th house, which is Scorpio. which is all about transformation, changing. So by the time you go through all of this, it was to the end, get you to change something about yourself. You went through the past, you went through who you are, you went through reinventing that person, dealing with your emotions, and now this is the transformation at the end. The current energies and surrounding circumstances are to get you to transform. With that eighth house of Scorpio is the ending of the old cycle and the beginning of the new you, the new reinvented you after you've learned this lesson through this cycle. So that is your current circumstances row. Next row out. Second row, what is evolving and where the energy is being directed? I'll go ahead with those. So now we are to your sixth position, which is air element, communicating. So what to do next, how to approach the situation. You actually got communication. So it's time to start talking a lot more, Virgo. It's time to start communicating. Now that you've got your feelings here with the water element, which was sensing, now you have the air element, which is communicating, and that's what you'll be doing moving forward. It says what to do next and how to approach the situation. So in your where this energy is being directed row, which is the second row, where is this going now that we've got what was going on up there? Now we're talking about where is this going? It's time to start communicating, Virgo. Next position, influences from partners, alliances, and romantic interests. North Node life purpose. It is time to go towards what you originally came here for in the first place. It's not to go to work in that way and the job that you're at and that's it. That's not what you're here for. There was a purpose to each of us being here. There was a purpose, something that you uniquely, distinctly bring. And that is you going into the influences from partnerships, alliances, and other romantic interests. Who you're with, who you're trying to be with, who you're around, who we allow into our space, into our circle. There's a purpose to each of these people, whether it's to teach us a good lesson or a bad lesson. Either way, you're going to get a lesson off of each person that you meet. And right now, it's strongly saying the possibility of somebody you have met or already met being around you to influence you to seeing your life purpose again. These are also karmic, also very karmic. I'm learning with the North Node and the life purpose. It definitely does have a lot to do with our past lives and the people that we're meeting now. If you want to get into that a little bit more, go ahead and look up North Node and the energy and how it is explained when it comes to your life purpose. Has a lot to do as well with your mother side, your matriarchal side. And how you came through this world, again, through your mother and who your mother was and why that was your mother. It gets deep, y'all. So really, if you have the time to look into that, if you're into that type of thing, astrology-wise, look up your North Node, your life purpose. All right, next position was what others are saying about the issue, but not to you. So you have the Grand Cross Provoker, which to me, that's the energy of certain planets as they push and pull on each other, and through these alignments, they actually are what causes, the play out in our lives. So for North Node to be in your seventh position, and then Grand Cross to be in your eighth position, to me, this is someone or something coming into your life that is stimulating you. They use the word provoke. I like it. It causes you or stimulates you to see things in a different way or do things in a different way. And that's how it's going to play out right now. And this usually to me plays out as a person, that Grand Cross Provoker, a person or a series of events and a situation, how it plays out to provoke basically, or to cause something different to happen. And it is so that you can go towards this path, so that you can go towards the path to your happiness. As I say that, I'm seeing what's in your hopes and wishes spot. But seventh position, influences from other partners, definitely is to get you to your life purpose, your North Node, what it's for. And the people that are around you, the situations that are playing out around you are playing out to provoke you to go towards that life purpose. That's how it works. It's actually trying to get you to, this energy comes about to get that to come to the surface for you. Okay. That's why I said seeing that in your what's in your ninth house, hopes, wishes, and possible outcome depending on what's happening now. You got the sun. So we're talking about blessings right here. When you got the sun out, we're talking about gifts, we're talking about blessings, we're talking about happiness. So all of this is moving towards your happiness to me. Very, very interesting. After that, your 10th position, what's driving the situation is the moon, which is your soul. So the sun being your spirit, the moon being your soul. These are your hopes, wishes, and possible outcomes depending on what's happening now. Is the sun. Spirit is leading this to you to get to your happiest place, your best possible outcome. And what's driving this situation is your soul, your own soul feels the need that it's time for this transformation. That's a good second row right there, Virgo. Third row. Third row. The conclusion based upon the current conditions or influences or future influences. So this is the conclusion here. And we are the state where you're progressing toward the energy coming in. You have the World card. This is completeness. This is fullness. This is completing the cycle that you need to complete. And once that cycle is complete, you are complete. You are whole. With this 10th house, the World card out. This is a positive card. This is when you feel that you've conquered it. You've conquered the cycle with the World card. Very positive in your 11th position. The state you're progressing towards, the energy coming in, is that World card energy. All right, the 12th position, influences from others that will have an impact on the resolution of this matter. And you have Saturn return. Saturn's like a daddy. I tell y'all, Saturn comes around and makes sure we get it right. And he's sitting up there like somebody's daddy with his arms folded, just looking down. You doing what you got to do, doing what you're supposed to do. Did you clean your room? That's how he looks. Did you clean your room like I told you to? And once you do what Saturn asked you to do, when he returns again, he leaves you wonderful benefits. It's an energy of growth. It's an energy of watching you grow and seeing you get back on the positive path, even when we stray a little bit, when we're confused and not knowing. Sits up there like that daddy with his arms folded, like, we're going to get it right, and I'm going to get you back right. And eventually you go towards that light because it's kind of guiding you to. And it's never guiding you towards misery. It's always guiding you towards your happiness. So you start to kind of listen to this energy. You know why it's coming around. You can feel why it's coming around, and you can feel what needs to be changed and what it's trying to get you to do. Sometimes we're a little stubborn and we don't want to do it, but it's still playing out so that it is showing us the way. Okay. 13th position, what you fail to take into account, but what can also be corrected. Mars, force. So actions we've taken or not taken. This is action. Mars is the planet of force. It's power. It's action. It's what makes us do the things we do. Our motivation. So that being in the what you failed to take into account, but what also can be corrected, your actions. So if you haven't been moving towards communicating your feelings, getting into more of those type of softer type of feminine type of feelings, that's what is going to be changed, or that's what you failed to take into account. That's what you failed to take into account, but what also can be corrected. So it's all about your actions. What you do during these cycles dictates how long you stay in the cycle, the benefits, how fast they come into you, that type of thing. What you do directly affects that. So it's about your actions. The actions you take, the moves that you make or don't make, determine how fast you get to your happiness, how fast you complete this cycle. 14th position is what cannot be changed unless drastic measures are taken. And it's funny, you got two Aries cards in those rows. So Mars, definitely the ruler of Aries as well, is about action. Aries is ruled by Mars, Aries I am, which also you got the body, the first house, which is Aries up here as well. So this is all about you and your perception. In this position, what cannot be changed unless drastic measures are taken? Who you are and how you do things. Who you are. How you feel about you. What cannot be changed unless drastic measures are taken. Who you are can't be changed. It's asking you to change certain things about yourself. that are imbalanced, but it's not asking you to change overall who you are and what your life purpose was supposed to be. That cannot be changed. And this is you learning, to me, the I am, with that North Node being out, who you are, life purpose wise, versus who you thought you were, just the Virgo that you are in this world and whatever your name is, but your life purpose and it playing out of why you are and who you are. And then the 15th position last is the outcome of the matter based on what it is. Changing your response to the matter can change the outcome of this card. And you got Sagittarius, I see. You're learning and understanding. Sagittarius is the philosopher of the zodiac. He's the one that comes into understanding. He's also a warrior and a fighter with his fire represented by the centaur. So your human nature above, your animal nature below. But I see, Sagittarius, I see is really you getting it, really you understanding who you are and why you are, Virgo, in this world. I see that playing out. Let's pull some clarifiers for you. I'm going to shuffle because these have been coming out in these big groups. I don't want to do all those. Shuffle these. I don't like that one. Close that out. Let's do one more. All right, we good. Let's get some clarity for you. Got the Justice card in reverse and the Hermit card upright. So not feeling very balanced, not feeling those scales of justice balanced as of yet. So maybe you didn't feel like everything played out so far the way you wanted it to. Maybe not entitled, getting all the things we're entitled to as of yet. Have not seen full justice get restored as it's played out so far. So we're kind of in some alone time right now in hermit mode, just trying to figure it all out. But hermit mode is great for people who like to be in their heads, as I enjoy being in hermit mode because it is my thinking time. It is where I go and isolate myself and figure it out. And I can't do that with a whole lot of people around me all the time. I have to go into that isolation. You can do it when you're around people, but it's just, for me, it makes more of an impact when I do really go into full hermit mode and isolate myself just to think about what it is that's making me kind of in my feelings, what's wrong with me, what's bothering me. Because if something is bothering me, it's pinpointing it so that I can address it. And that's how I go figure it out. That's how I go bring balance back to that situation. So definitely your hermit mode, when you're not feeling balanced, this is exactly what you should do. This is exactly what you should do. When you're not feeling balanced, you go and you just are trying to find that light. You're trying to find that light again to get clarity to see what your next move should be. Next, we've got the Seven of Swords in reverse with the Chariot upright. So this is you feeling like you got a handle on this right now. You're not feeling like somebody tricked you or got you. You finally are seeing the play out of this all, seeing how you definitely have a lot of control in the situation. When there's different opinions, when there's different ways you can go, you still have all the control. And you decide which way that chariot moves. You decide what you want to move towards. You decide what's in your best interest, what's good for you. And you move towards your own happiness with no problem. You move towards it because you're assured in your actions and why you're taking them. Then you have no problem moving forward. And then I've got the King of Cups in reverse and the Three of Swords in reverse. So anything like that, any type of energy where you felt betrayed or heartbroken or all that type of stuff is in the past for you right now. It's in the past. Any type of emotional heartbreak for you. When I see that water sensing card out, that water element card out, you've been dealing with your emotions. You've been addressing those things, and those things are in reverse because you don't feel that way no more. I feel like don't feel heartbroken anymore. You don't feel emotionally scarred anymore. You have learned to balance those emotions out. And right now you're just moving towards Emperor energy and making new wishes out here, I see. So you're trying to be a boss over here, Virgo. You're trying to be a boss. You're trying to learn how to handle it all. Just putting some new wishes out there about what it is you want to bring in next, what you want to do next. The Emperor's a little arrogant sometimes, but he has a right to be arrogant because he knows who he is. Knows who he is. He knows he's not settling for anything beneath him or any type of pettiness right there, and just putting wishes out there to remain that stable type of emperor, type of boss, type of person that you. If you're coming into that energy, once you get it, you feel pretty good about it. So yeah, any area, any of you that are still feeling any type of Five of Swords type of energy, any type of fear, any type of stress over Five of Cups is just emotional type of loss, any type of stress over feeling like you can't bring back in emotionally or relationship wise what you want, you feeling kind of this Five of Swords energy, which is negative thinking about maybe something you did or something someone did to you. That's playing out for some of you guys. I feel like she's feeling a little hurt over something she did to somebody else, the way those two cards come out. And then the Victory is in reverse on that situation. So I feel like this is something that maybe we're in our heads about, something that we're not feeling pretty good about how we did to somebody. So this is why we didn't win with this person, why the relationship was not successful, because of something we may have did, and we may just be a little bit in our heads over what we did to this person. Could be the reverse of what this person did to us, but I strongly feel like the way they came out, that this is something you did to somebody, some type of emotional pain that you caused someone else, why you feel like you don't have a chance with that person again. I feel that that's going to be for some of you. That's a strong storyline playing out right there. That Five of Swords, Five of Cups, and then the Six of Wands in reverse. That is definitely something we feel like we did to somebody that we're feeling a little down over. And why that person either won't talk to us, won't deal with us, or we can't take action toward that person because we're feeling a little saddened by what we did, a little heartbroken and fearful about approaching them again because of how the past went. That's a scenario playing out. Got some confusion for someone else with the Unknown card and the Eight of Wands coming out in reverse, just not knowing what it is or who it is we want to move towards next. Not having clarity on it at this moment. For some of us, not having the clarity on what we want to do at this moment. For others, praying or trying to get a grips on changing views that we've had or held on to since we were born, stuff that was to us from birth, stuff that made us feel like we were wrong if we changed our viewpoint on that, with this Hierophant being out, but he's in reverse as of now. Just praying for the strength to understand that those traditions and those rules, and maybe they were religious or traditional, structured, kind of rigid, us wanting comfort in that we are not going against something or doing something wrong, or keeping us from having a guilty conscience over wanting the things that we wanting to move towards the things that we want to move towards, because those are traditions that needed to be changed. Those are old structures that needed to come down and be replaced. So maybe some of us were dealing with some old religious type of beliefs that we held on to, or some family traditions that were passed down to us, and going against them feels kind of different or feels kind of wrong. Those type of energies are in reverse right now, and you're praying for the strength to be stronger on knowing that you're still a good person and an okay person for going about and doing things the way you see fit right now, which is what's going to make you happy at this moment. Negative thinking is out with the Ten of Swords, just feeling done wrong by somebody either not moving towards us or us not moving towards the person we want to move towards. We're not feeling pretty good about that in our head right now. But have the Magician out, which means you're going to be creating something new to change the cycle for yourself. You're going to create something new. You're working on something new right now when it comes to love and relationships. Yeah, and the Fool card is back out. So you're ready for something new. You're ready for something new when it comes to relationships. It's just about the play out of how this whole cycle went for you, what you learned, how you're getting to know yourself. And what I see heading through the future is the actions being taken, and your understanding growing so much, Virgo. You learning so much about these cycles, what's being asked of you, and how to complete them so that you can get the benefits and get on to the next cycle, which means you're growing and progressing towards something in your life. You're growing in a positive direction. Trying to be king in the world. That world card. It's about completing cycles. And yeah, when you're sitting on top of the world, you're feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good after conquering and continuing to conquer things in your life. You do end up sitting on top of the world, which is what we're all aiming towards. So hope you enjoyed your reading, Virgo. If you do need to book a personal reading, it's www.divinitygems33.com. Thanks for listening. Until next time.